What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with that quick analysis while the weekend is here upon us. We're going to talk about my NBA Finals prediction. I never do this ever, but a lot of people want to know the two teams that I feel will make it to the finals. Is all for fun. It's all just a prediction. Obviously, trades will happen, injuries will happen. We don't know how the season is going to go. We don't know how seeding is going to go. But it's all for fun. If I had to look at the rosters and the teams that's together right now, who would I pick to make to the finals? The Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns. And the reason why, one, these teams have played together before. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of matchups that they can give problems to a lot of teams. You look at Chris Paul coming off the injury with his wrist and his shoulder, but he still was able to make it to the finals. Still played well in the first two games of the finals. Devin Booker had a fantastic season, becoming the all-time leader in first playoff appearance and points. DeAndre Ayton is the reason why he's getting paid is because he was so good defensively and offensively and on the boards when it comes to the playoffs. And then you look at Mikael Bridges. He had some time to shine also in the playoffs, had some 20 point, 25-point games or a little higher. And he really was able to show why he's going to be a versatile player. The Nets, they obviously was able to go out there and annihilate my Celtics. Was blowing out the Milwaukee Bucks until Kyrie and Harden both went down. That made the series a little closer and a little bit more even. The Bucks was able to take the lead. The Nets was able to tie it. They was able to fight to a game 7 in overtime, and ultimately the Bucks was able to outlast them. But I just don't see that happening if the Brooklyn Nets is healthy. If they have Kyrie, I believe there is no game 7. There is no overtime, and that series will definitely be over before 7 games, especially if all three of them stay healthy, because they was already blowing out the Milwaukee Bucks with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, and they was already up 2-0, and then Kyrie goes down 2-2, and now you lose the series in 7. Kevin Durant has been absolutely fantastic coming back from a season slash career altering injury, and he was able to get off to a decent start. I didn't really like how he played in preseason. I felt like he was a little hesitant. I felt like he didn't have the explosion. I feel like he didn't have the confidence, but he was able to regain all those things very quickly. Very quickly, he was able to get back to shooting, the touch, the rhythm, and it took him about 2 to 3 weeks to do it in real NBA games, not just practice, not just scrimmage. You can tell that he really loves the game and really puts a lot of work in just because for you to be able to look at like that in preseason and now you're going against the best players in the world and you're able to turn it around and become an MVP caliber player and now known as the best player in the world to a lot of people at this point, coming off a career altering injury and to be able to be that efficient, that dominant, and still be one of the best, if not the best, offensive player in the game. It just shows you a testament to how much he have love and passion, but also his work ethic for this game. And when you put together the roster that they have put together this season, they already had a championship roster last year. They had probably the best roster last year if they was healthy. I had them winning the title. And then you look at the fact that they made this roster even deeper. Added more talent to a roster that already was the best roster constructed last year. And they found a way to make it even better and even deeper and even more versatile. It's just tough to see a team beating this team. It really is. It was tough to do it last year. The Bucks gave everything that they could, and they still barely won those games. And they even barely won the game in overtime. They only won by 2 points, well 4 points, and they didn't even have Kyrie the entire 2 3 games, and they still was able to fight that far. They 1 inch away from possibly being in the NBA Finals if they beat the Atlanta Hawks, which they probably would be the favorites against them. The question would be, would they be able to beat a team like Phoenix? That'd be the question. The Milwaukee Bucks got down 0-2. It clearly looked like the Phoenix Suns were the better team. They was outplaying them, out defending them, just picking them apart. and just out executing them. And I feel like one thing the Phoenix Suns have to remember if they want to become champions is they have to make those plays special. They have to make the right decisions. They have to make the right plays. It seemed like the Bucks wanted it more. They went for the blocks. They went for the steals. They wanted to take that championship. Even when you look at Giannis, 50-point games, they wanted to be champions. That was their chance. That was their moment. And the Suns was playing it cool, calm, collective, and just going out there hooping. And the Bucks just had urgency. The Bucks just had fight, and they had more passion. Hopefully the Phoenix Suns learn from that. I feel like they played like that against the Lakers. I feel like they played like that even against the Nuggets. And you don't get to the NBA Finals without having some type of experience, without having some type of growth and trust and belief in each other as a team. But ultimately, they still got to the finals. It looked unlikely because everybody had the Lakers winning, but that just shows you that you have to take advantage of your matchups. You have to take advantage of the teams you play because you never know what can happen. You're in a series, you're in a game by game basis where anything can happen. You just blessed to be in the playoffs, have a chance to win the title, and Phoenix almost cashed in, but they blew the last couple minutes, the last couple seconds of every game after game two of the NBA Finals, and ended up losing four straight. Maybe that pain and that sense where you was that close. You're a couple possessions away from being champions. The first champion in franchise history. Chris Paul first and only championship was right there in front of him. And they let it go. They literally was the better team and they literally should have won the championship. And they literally let the Bucks will them. They outwilled them. They wanted it more. They did whatever it took to get it done, and the Suns just didn't do it. And you have to give credit to the Milwaukee Bucks for getting it done. But hopefully the Phoenix Suns can learn from it. When you look at teams in the Western Conference, the Suns have just as much talent as other teams. The difference is they have a lot of chemistry. They fit well. They have the size. They have the versatility. They have a better bench than they had last year this season. They still have CP. They still have Devin Booker. They still have the same coach and the same style and the same defense and the same offense. And a lot of that benefits you. You know, a lot of these things they was putting together on the fly last season, now they're basically bringing back the same team, but just deeper, and they're trying to run it back. You know, matchups matter, but this team can match up against anybody. They have the wings, they have the size, they have the shooting, they have the guard play, they have the ability to go small, they have the ability to switch everything, and they really have no weaknesses. That's why I felt like they can win the title. I picked them to beat the Lakers. I picked them to beat the Nuggets. I picked them to beat the Clippers. I picked them to beat the Bucks. And they was that good. They was number two in the entire NBA last year, and that's just a fact. Those are all proven things that happen, and they let the opportunity slip away. But when I look at the teams in the Western Conference, a lot of these teams have injuries to key players. A lot of these teams have a lot of veterans that have been proven to be injury prone, kind of like Chris Paul, but he doesn't have to do as much. He missed games throughout the playoffs with the shoulder, wasn't 100%. He also missed games because of the COVID situation. But the Suns beat the Clippers those two games. The Suns was still able to compete with the Lakers with a beat up Chris Paul, and they still was able to get to the finals. That's how good this Phoenix Suns team is, and they're going to be bringing back the same exact roster just with more enhancements and improvements and a year of experience, especially going through war with each other as brothers in the playoffs. And that failure do motivate you. It do push you to strive to do better. And this team has basically a great fit and perfect roster for any team in the Western Conference. And that's why we seen them just breeze past a lot of these teams, even in the regular season last year. You don't finish second in the entire NBA if you're not a great team. And that's why I was believing in them. And that's why I liked them. And the Brooklyn Nets, they just have too much talent. They're just loaded with so many weapons at every position. They just spoil the riches. They have so much talent that If they don't make it, it's an embarrassment. That's how much talent that they have amassed this season. And it's just crazy that they have it. I just look at their roster and I just can't believe they was able to get a roster this deep and still have Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin Durant in the prime of their careers, and they can get a bucket whenever they want to. They can take over whenever they want to. Plus, they have guys that can screen, shoot, space, create, even on the bench. And a lot of them guys don't even have to play that many minutes. And if somebody goes down, then they can play a lot of minutes. And they'll still be fine if they're playing because they ain't really losing much. That's how deep their bench is. So the Nets have to get it done. And I've been saying that all year. They have so much talent that they have to win the title just because it will literally be an embarrassment not only to Kevin Durant legacy, but also James Harden, a guy that's at Houston. They're not good enough. They don't have enough. I can't win a title here. Let me go join with KD and Kyrie and try to win with them. That's the whole point of Kevin Durant and Kyrie joining together. That's the whole point of Harden wanting to come here. That's the whole point of Sean Marks putting all this together for them to win the title. They have the best chance. They're the favorites. They have the best roster. Now they just have to get it done. I got Brooklyn beating Phoenix in 5 games to be the NBA champions. But this is all fun. This is all hypothetical. This couldn't happen. This may happen. It is a realistic chance that it will happen. We just don't know how the season and things play out. But it was just for fun. If y'all want to know who I feel like will be the best two teams playoff wise and regular season wise to come out of their conference, I'm still gonna go with the Suns in the West, and I'm still gonna go with Brooklyn in the East. I felt like that last year, but injuries and stuff happened, obviously. But Phoenix did come out the West. Brooklyn was toe up, and they didn't come out the East. I can definitely see it happening this season, but Brooklyn is just still the way superior team. But Phoenix will make it interesting. They'll make it competitive, but they just don't have enough to beat the Brooklyn Nets. But they still do have to get it done. That's the whole point of putting this whole movement in order to win a title. And with the big three that they have and the talent they have, together right now, they have to get it done. If you're a Nets fan, you should be happy because y'all are the overwhelming favorites this year to be champions. And now y'all actually just have to do y'all part, and that's win it. Now we just have to see if they get it done. But that's my prediction for fun. That's what I'm thinking right now. That's what I'm feeling. Hope you guys enjoy your night. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Hopefully I see y'all tomorrow on Saturday. Quinn Wade Basketball and Austin signing out. Enjoy your night.